In this video, I will show you an insanely profitable indicator scalping strategy that can make you a ton of money in the long run. And to prove these claims, I will also backtest this strategy 100 times with an initial account size set at $1,000 and 2% risk per trade. I'm going to do my backtesting on a pound-yen 5-minute chart, and this strategy consists of 3 free TradingView indicators. So let's go ahead and add them to our chart. So for the first indicator, we will need a Vumanchu Cipher B plus divergences. This one by Vumanchu. For the second indicator, we will add an SSL hybrid. This one by Michael OO. And finally, let's add a relative volume to our chart. This one by VeryFit. Okay, so we can see the chart looks absolutely terrible, and in order to fix that, we're going to change the settings on every single one of these indicators. So let's first double click on this SSL hybrid and change the style. Also, we're going to go into our inputs and change this baseline length from 60 to 200. And we're going to change the baseline type from HMA to EMA. Also, we're going to need to change this exit length from 15 to 30. Okay, now we're going to need to change the settings on this Vumanchu indicator. So again, in the style section, we're going to remove everything that is unnecessary. We're not going to change the inputs, we're just going to leave them on a default. And finally, let's adjust our volume indicator. Okay, so we see the chart looks much better and we have clear buy and sell signals. So let's now get into our trading rules. Okay, we're only going to be looking to buy if the price is sitting above this SSL hybrid line and the line is colored in blue. And for our entry signals, we're going to be using this Vumanchu indicator. So whenever you see these green circles appear above the zero line and the money flow index area is colored in green, this is a valid long signal. And finally, we're going to be looking for sufficient bullish volume in the market. So this volume histogram has to be colored in green and it has to be above this moving average. Anything below this moving average means that there is no volume in the market and the price is moving sideways. And once we have all these conditions fulfilled, we're going to go ahead and take a long position, set our stop loss at the recent swing low. For this strategy, we're not going to set any specific take profit targets. We're only going to close the position if we have the price moved in our favor and we're running a profitable trade and we have an exit signal from our SSL hybrid indicator. So the red arrow has to appear above the price. Okay, now let me show you an example. So we see we're running a profitable trade and now we're waiting for an exit signal to close this position. Okay, so we see we just got a valid exit signal and now we can close this trade. Our risk reward ratio is 4-to-1, which is extremely high. Exactly opposite rules apply for short trades, so we first need to have the price sitting below this SSL hybrid line and the line has to be colored in red. Next condition is this red circle appeared below the zero line on our Vumanchu indicator. Also, this money flow index area has to be colored in red. And lastly, we need to have sufficient bearish volume in the market. So this volume histogram has to be colored in red and it has to be above this exponential moving average. And once we have all these conditions met, we can safely enter a short position, set our stop loss at the recent swing high. And just like with the long trades, we will wait for the price to move in our favor until we're running a profitable trade, and we're going to exit the position as soon as we have a blue arrow appeared below the price. Okay, let me now show you an example. Okay, so we see this exit signal is not valid because the current price is higher than our entry price, so we're running a losing trade. So we're simply going to ignore that signal. Okay, so this is where we had a valid exit signal and now we can close this trade. We see the risk-reward ratio on this trade is 6.3 to 1, and since we're risking 2% of our account per trade, on this particular trade we could have made around 12% profit. Okay, let me now give you some more examples so you have a full understanding of how to trade with this strategy. So we see the price is kind of moving sideways, and now we're waiting for a new signal from our system. So this is where we have a new bullish signal from our Vumanchu indicator, but this signal is not confirmed because this line is colored in gray, so we skip this trade. This new signal is definitely confirmed. We see the price is sitting above this SSL hybrid line and the line is colored in blue. We also have a green circle on our Vumanchu and it's above the 0. And we have this money flow index area colored in green as well. We also see that we have a plenty bullish volume in the market, so we can safely enter a long position, set our stop loss, and see whether this trade is successful. Okay, so we see we just got an exit signal and now we can close this trade. See, sometimes we don't make a lot, our risk reward ratio is only 0.66. Now let's go and find some more signals. This bullish signal is not valid because it's not confirmed by our volume indicator. So we see the price just crossed and closed below this SSL hybrid line and the line is red, so we're only going to be looking to sell. This bearish signal is not valid for one reason. We see this money flow index area is colored in green, so we're going to skip this trade. This bearish signal is not confirmed either because we don't have sufficient volume. The same thing with this trade, we see the volume is sitting below the moving average. Okay, so we finally have a confirmed bearish signal. We see all our indicators agree. Okay, so we see we just got an exit signal and now we can close this position. Now let's go ahead and find some new signals. We see this signal is not confirmed. Okay, so this is where we had another valid bearish signal, so we can enter another short trade. Okay, so we see a valid exit signal. This is where our indicator is telling us to get out. Okay, so we see we just got another good bearish signal. We see sometimes we don't make a lot, but at the end of the day, all these winners add up. Okay, I hope these rules are clear and you know exactly how to trade with this strategy. So now let's go ahead and backtest it 100 times and wait for the results at the end of this video. Okay, so I just finished my backtesting and the results are absolutely brilliant. Our win rate is 65% and we increased our account size by 257.55%. I found those 100 setups within 5 weeks. But bear in mind, this is only the backtesting phase. The results will be different when trading live because of spreads and fees. The equity curve looks fairly consistent and we don't have any serious drawdowns at all. Also, I'd like to mention that I backtested this strategy on an extremely choppy market. We see the price is mainly moving sideways, but we still managed to make some good profits and eliminate some bad trades. We see our profit factor is 2.93 and we had 6 consecutive wins against 4 consecutive losses. And our largest profit trade was 19%, which is really amazing. Okay, so in terms of win rate, this strategy is definitely in my top 10. The win rate will definitely be much higher if you test the strategy on a trending market. So I highly recommend it. Go ahead and backtest it and forward test it and see how well it performs. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe to this channel.